Hello everyone, in this video let us use Jira's REST API to create an issue link. Now this is a really interesting thing that you can do with REST API. Now in Jira we all know that we have this capability of creating links, and these links are really useful for basically doing a lot of things, like maybe you want to create some reference between two tickets or maybe multiple tickets, and maybe you want to use this issue linking feature to say that this particular issue is dependent on maybe another issue. And using the issue links you can also create some kind of hierarchy in your issues when it comes to using Jira. So today let us use the REST API for creating this link, and if you want to learn how to do it, you can take a look at this method called create issue link. And of course I'm doing it on cloud, but it is of course not different on server. So this is applicable on both cloud and server. But if you look at this endpoint, it says post REST API 3 issue link. Now to create this link, you need to use this method. And if you scroll down and if you look at the example, so you have to definitely specify or pass a JSON file that will contain the information about the links. So if you look at the JSON file, it has you have to specify the outward issue, you have to specify the inward issue. This is how links work in Jira. You have outgoing link and you have incoming link, and that is basically defined using the link type, because when you create a link between two issues, you have the option to specify whether this particular issue is blocked by some other issue, or maybe this particular issue is a duplicate or anything. So you have this concept of type. Now if you look at, let us say, let me show you very quickly. If you look at, let us say, this option to create a link, you have to specify this issue is blocked by maybe something else. Let us take a look at this SP8, or maybe this issue is duplicate, and so on. So when you create these links, you need to specify the type. Now to use this particular method, this endpoint, what I will do, I will of course use the Talend API, and I will just show you how to do it very quickly using this API tester, Talend API tester. So I'm using this post method, of course, in my Talend API, and I'm using this endpoint which I just showed you, API 3 issue link. Now what I will do, I will simply copy this whole JSON file as it is, and we can of course then modify it. And of course when you're doing this, you can definitely read more about it if you want. So if you read this page, it says create a link between two issues, use this operation to indicate a relationship between two issues, and optionally add a comment. So comment is optional, but let us see if we have to use it or not. So what I'll do, I'll paste the whole JSON file as it is. And since the comment is optional, so let us get rid of the comment. I think we can just focus on the important part here, that is specifying the outward issue and the inward issue. Now you have to specify the type here. So this type is really important, because this is how you will be able to create a link. And to simply first understand how the types work, you can of course go and take a look in your Jira instance. So if you, let us say, create a link, you will get the option to specify here the outward or inward link type, which is of course listed here in the drop down, this issue. But basically when you say this issue is blocked by, or this issue blocks some other issue, there is a type involved as well. So you can always take a look at your issue linking, like how issue linking works. Let me just open it for you so that you can also understand. So this is the type here. So for each and every link, you have to specify either the outward description, in the drop down, or the inward description, which it will tell you the direction of the link. But the type is here is actually mentioned here in the first column: blocks, cloners, duplicate, and so on. So these are the types in my instance of Jira. But to understand, I mean, if you are trying to do it programmatically, so there is also one endpoint to get the list of all the issue link types in your instance. So there is also one endpoint which is of course using method get. Let me show you how it looks like. So this is the method issue. This is basically the get method, but the endpoint is REST API 3 issue link type. Click on send button and it will give you the response. So for our example, let us simply use the first one, which is the blocks. Now, in my example, I will be linking my CTS-16 to, let us say, one issue, which is, let us take a look at what issues we have. So what I will be doing, I will be making sure that CTS-16, which is this issue, is blocking, which is, in that case, that will be blocks, some other issue, which is, let us say, SP8. So this is what we'll be doing. So let me go back, and if I modify the JSON file, I want the outward issue to be CTS-16. So basically, I will be using the issue link type as blocks, and pay attention to the outward and inward direction here. So I'm using the link type, which is blocks. So I'll just copy this here, or I'll just type it here, blocks. My outward issue, I want basically CTS-16 to be blocking something else. So I will be basically making sure that my CTS is outward issue in this case. So this is what I have mentioned here. And the inward issue is SP8. SP-8, and this will give you the idea about the direction. Like I mean, of course, you can take a look at it when you log into Jira. I mean, when you go to the admin section of issue links. But if you are saying that if you want your CTS-16 to be blocking, then it has to be outward issue. And if you want your SP8 issue to be blocked by CTS-16, then it has to be inward. So that is what I have done here in this particular JSON file. And just to make sure that you have to make sure that the JSON file is in the right format, otherwise it will not work. Let me add maybe one more curly bracket, and if I click on send, it works actually. But just make sure that it is in the correct format. Otherwise, you might, in most cases, you will face an error. So I was able to successfully create a link. I mean, it says the response 201, so there is no error. So let me go back to my Jira issue, and if I refresh, let us see. Yes, we do have this SP8. Let me also do the same thing with maybe SP7, because I want to create two links. Why not? Maybe in this case, let us use something else. Let us use maybe cloner. Let us try with cloner. So let me try cloners here, and I will not change the outward and inward. So basically, what will happen after I press the button, my CTS-16 will be clones. I mean, the link will say CTS-16 clones SP8, and the link that we will see on CTS-16 will be from SP7, and that will say is cloned by. It can be a bit confusing in the beginning, but it is not. So let us just do this very quickly, and I don't see any error. I will go back to my issue, and I will take a look at one more link. So this is how it will work. And this is actually all I wanted to share in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.